So I do the line just to kind of measure it out how big I want. And I try to end it with a little pointy point. So you kind of like lift at the end. And then I'm going to dash out, 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 out. Getting bigger and bigger as I head down. And then I do the other side, starting with teeny tiny, super teeny dashes out, out, out to the side. I get bigger and bigger and bigger. So like a cone shape, right? So I actually don't mind that it's mixing a little right now because it's gonna give me all this like dimension and texture. I can come back later and I can really darken those colors. But right now I'm just kind of plotting out where I want it, how big I want it. And then in the middle I kind of dot to give that more texture and camouflage the trunk a little bit, right? Because there's branches in the middle, there's not just on the sides. So I come back and I say mess it up. So I kind of dot it, give the middle a bit of texture too. But we want those sides to be like fringy, really wild and wicked looking. And not so perfect. Perfect will look like fake. It'll look like a computer made it. So, you know, you can start just dotting down here, kind of indicating where we're standing, where we're looking at all this from, where this tree is coming from. And then I can make another. I can give it a little friend. Oops. Try to make the top real skinny. And then out, out, out. Out, out, out. On both sides. I do one side and then the other, so they're very different. If you do that little cheater like swipe, 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 it just looks too uniform. I want both sides to be really weird and wild. Awesome. So yeah, you can see how much it's mixing with the lighter colors. But since I already started, I want to do a few of these just to be consistent. I'll put one here. I'm just dotting, just to show where it's going to be, and then later I'll let it dry like 10 minutes, come back and dot this in with a deeper, darker color after it's had a chance to dry. Cool. Now there is a trick with the number of objects. If this really is the main subject, is the trees. And so an odd number for some reason, people report as being more likable, more interesting, more pleasing to the eye. So I have 3 now, that's an odd number. If I added a 4th, I'd probably add a 5th. If I added a 6th, I'd probably go ahead and add 7. So just, you know, think about that as they start to pile up. I mean, you could have 17 if you wanted. You could have a whole bunch. I'll bring back the original one that I'm copying here, where I have a whole bunch of these little guys. And so I think a little touch-ups with the dark and a little bit, and I'm pretty much done. Match those colors really nicely. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I think it's lovely. And your eyes kind of dancing around in between, which is what you want. And I'm digging it. So once again, I'm mixing my darkest greens with a little black, a little brown. So it's a little drier now. And I should be able to get a little more tree going here. Pointy, dash, 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 dash. Leaving the top as the tallest part. And these gradually get a little wider and a little wider. You can just kind of end it right into a bunch of other foliage. More trees, more bushes down here. And then kind of mess up the middle a little bit. I like those little bits of texture. Make it look more 3D, less flat. So now that this has been drying a bit, you should be able to come back. Yep, and it's taking a more paint. So I don't need to cover everything. I like letting some of the lighter patches show. Now, if you want to get technical on the pine tree, the upper branches tend to tilt up a little bit. They're fresh, they're new, they've just sort of grown out. And the lower ones are so heavy, they're tilting down, they're bowing down with the weight of all the pine needles and extra branches. So you could have them like kind of tilt up at first and then start to straighten out and then tilt down. But I'm not even showing that level of detail on this. I'm just kind of dashing outwards, giving it texture and fringe. Anytime I see one that just looks too perfect, I'll go add something to mess it up a little bit so it looks a little more realistic. Something weird sticking out. Our human brains want everything so even and so perfect. When it comes to trees, it's not. It's really, they're really kind of wild and weird. Especially that edge, so you have to fight your brain that says, put it all in a row, make it all perfect, put it in order. Fight that impulse and let it be wild and weird. Awesome. So I'm going to do some little teeny ones here. These are so small, they can really literally be a little dash and some dots. Not much detail at all. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I will give it a friend over here. Let's see. If the paint gets too globby like that, you can always tamp it down and down, and then you should be able to get a thin line again. Too much paint will get rid of your nice point. I could also be using a smaller brush. Always switch to a smaller brush if you're getting frustrated, trying to get in a corner or do something tiny. Don't suffer with a large brush that's hard to control. Switch to whatever brush you're comfortable with. then I might even do just black down at the base here to kind of just indicate more things. Different type of tree or a bush. Some other stuff. Cool. Yep, I am very happy with this. And I hope you paint along. Thank you for watching.